here, brother Vuli. I call you brother Vuli, brother, you're my brother. You know? So, brother Vuli, where did you start music?
I started playing music in Dar es Salaam, in Tanzania, when I was 9. That is where I started playing music. I learned the first instrument I learned to play was a guitar, and then keyboards, and then saxophone.
That's beautiful. And then, so how come that you played music in Dar es Salaam, meanwhile you are a South African?
Oh, you see, my parents left South Africa and went in exile in 1962 when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
My father was an advocate against Bantu education.
Okay.
So he got into a lot of trouble with the government, and the government wanted to throw him in jail. Then he decided, no, I'm leaving South Africa.
Okay.
So in the process, we lived in a lot of African countries like Zambia, and then Rhodesia, before Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Before Zimbabwe was called, before Rhodesia was called Zimbabwe.
Okay. Okay.
And then we went on to live in China for 2 years. And then after China, that's when we came to Tanzania in 1968. I was 15 years old. Then I went to high school in Dar es Salaam, and in the process I learned how to play music. I learned how to play musical instruments.
Oh, that's beautiful. Self-taught?
Yes, self-taught.
Okay.
Well, the guitar, I was given lessons by my father. He taught me just 3 chords, C, G, and F.
Okay. Okay.
And then from then onwards, it was teaching myself. And then keyboards, I was shown the keyboards as the scale by my elder sister.
Okay.
Which
She's a musician as well.
Well, not really, but my father used to give them piano lessons.
Okay.
And then that is how I developed into keyboards. Saxophone, I was self-taught. Nobody taught me anything.
So you're an instrumentalist, yeah? You play almost, main instruments. That's
Something
beautiful.
like that.
That's beautiful.
Like
And then how come you ended up in China?
You see, in the 70s, 60s and 70s, there was what they called, there was what they used to call the Cold War.
Okay.
The communists versus the capitalists.
Okay.
So the Chinese wanted to broadcast their communist ideology to the world.
Okay.
And they had an institution in Beijing where they had teachers from all over the world teaching languages like Swahili, Zulu, Spanish, English, French, so that when the Chinese learn these languages, then they go to their broadcasting station and then broadcast a communist ideology. So the Pan-Africanist Congress of South Africa, when we were in Zambia, said, Mr. Yeni, there's a job waiting for you in China. Go to China and teach the Chinese how to speak Zulu. That is how we ended up in China.
That's interesting indeed. That's interesting indeed. Let's play one of your tracks and then so that the listeners must be. That's Vulieni Nofanenzara. So what language is this, Vuli?
Nofanenzara is Kizaramo. Kizaramo is spoken in the coast of Tanzania. It's one of those languages that is spoken in the coast of Tanzania,
okay.
Dar es Salaam.
What is the meaning of this song?
Nofanenzara means I'm dying of hunger.
I'm dying of hunger.
Yeah.
It's very kitala. It's very kitala. Yes, Vuli, that's beautiful music indeed. So I want us to go ahead with our interview. So I understand you played with Lakip Tuve's band.
Yes, for 5 years. I was with Lakip Tuve for 5 years.
So you traveled immensely.
We traveled, we crossed all the 5 continents in this world. We even went to some countries that we did not even know that existed.
Really?
Yes. And the interesting thing about Lakip Tuve, there was an island. I just can't remember the name of this island. It's in the south, in the Caribbean, one of the Caribbean islands. And Lucky had this song called Prisoner.
Prisoner, yes.
And the stadium where we were playing, it was a about 700 meters away from prison. And when we played the song Prisoner, the prisoners broke out of jail and came to the concert. And then,
oh my God.
And as we were in the stadium and we were seeing this commotion,
yes,
and there's these people being chased by the police, only to find that the prisoners have broken away from jail. They want to come and listen to Lucky play the song Prisoner.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite interesting indeed. So yeah, Lucky Dube was very, very popular. And you know, you always got a very high reception wherever you go. Nah.
You know, unfortunately, here in South Africa, Lucky Dube was not appreciated like he is appreciated outside South Africa. All over, especially in African countries and in the Caribbean, Lucky Dube would fill up stadiums all by himself.
Really?
Stadiums which had a capacity of 60 to 80,000 people.
Okay.
But the people of South Africa never embraced him like the people of the world embraced him. Here in South Africa, with Lucky Dube, we could do a show in a stadium and it was empty. So, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, you may be an international star internationally, but your own people don't accept you, and it's a very painful thing that South Africans appreciate things from overseas more than what comes from their own country.
What does Dar es Salaam mean?
Dar es Salaam was once the capital city of Tanzania.
Okay.
And then the government decided to move the capital. Then the government decided to move the capital from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma. So it's the biggest city in Tanzania. And the reason why I wrote this song is because Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, who was the president of Tanzania, assisted a lot of African countries in the 60s to gain independence. He gave us South Africans land and gave us a place where we could develop our military camps. And he assisted with the independence of South Africa. Now, I sat down, I said to myself, you know, our South African government has forgotten all the black heroes that helped us to gain our independence. Then I said, you know, I need to write a song about the people of Tanzania. And then I dedicated the song to the people of Tanzania because of the assistance they gave us to get our independence. But it's so unfortunate that our government has not paid tribute to the Tanzanian people. They've not paid tribute to Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. There is not even a street in South Africa that is named after Nyerere. There is not even a street in South Africa that is named after Dar es Salaam of Tanzania.
I think before I play this song, I would just want to ask Bravuli, how was it in China? Because it's like you stayed for 2 years, is quite a lot. How was it?
Very interesting, very interesting. You know, we got to China in 1966.
Yes.
And shortly after we got to China, then they declared the Cultural Revolution.
Okay.
Now, the Cultural Revolution is whereby the government decided, no, you know, the people of China are going astray. They are going towards corruption.
Yes.
So let us teach these people our Cultural Revolution.
Okay.
It was a mind-opening process because I was only 13 years old.
Okay.
But now I'm seeing that happening in my country after 50 years.
Yes,
that we need a cultural revolution in our country.
Exactly.
Our culture is really
rotten to the core.
It's messed up. So Mao Zedong's government straightened a lot of things in China, and they did a lot of things that today you can see the fruits of Mao Zedong's teaching. And then also I learned in China, you know, humanism.
Yes.
The Chinese Communist Party really showed the people of China and taught the people of China what humanism is all about. You know, you think about the next person first before you can think about capital.
Exactly.
So I learned humanism in China, whereas most of our countries are more, you know, capitalist inclined.
Yes. And tell me, by those Yes, how advanced was China technologically comparing to our country?
It was really backward. It was really backward. Now this is what the Chinese government did when the Communist Party came into power. They sent Chinese to study all over the world. USA, Germany, France, and all the best universities you can find in the world. And these people, when they finished and had attained the knowledge that they'd gone to obtain outside China,
yes,
they came back to China. And today China is one of the most developed countries technologically. Way back in '66 when I was there, they were really backward. They were really, really backward. But they've advanced dramatically.
Okay.
The thing is, when you educate your people, and when those people are educated, they should serve their countries.
Okay.
You don't send people to the United States of America, and when they obtain their education, they stay and work in America. No, they must come back and develop their own country.
Bravely, Malaika is a very popular song, but we don't know the meaning of Malaika. You know, people are saying Malaika, but we don't know. Why did you decide to do Malaika?
Yeah, Malaika is a Swahili word for angel. The first person who introduced Malaika to the world was Miriam Makeba, way back in the 60s. Malaika was written and composed by a Tanzanian musician. But then unfortunately, because Tanzania at that time did not have the recording industry, this guy who wrote this song, Malaika, went to Kenya. And when he got to Kenya, the producer who produced the song Malaika decided to write his own name as the composer. So there's this controversy whereby some people will say Malaika is a Kenyan song, it's a Tanzanian song. No, even Miriam Makeba, when she introduced the song Malaika, she says this is a song from Tanzania. This is a song from Tanzania, meaning angel. Malaika nakupenda, Malaika means angel, I love you, my angel.
Then I hear very beautiful trombone. Who is playing the trombone?
Oh, the guy is playing trombone here. I met him at the South African Air Force Band. His name is Sipho Stefan Ndlovu. Sipho is a very talented young man. He is today a captain in the South African Air Force. He plays trombone and is a very good composer and a arranger.
Can you say to the listeners?
My beautiful South African brothers and sisters, we've got to know one thing. Education is the key to success. Let us educate our people. Let us educate our children. Take our children to school. Educate ourselves. We could have a wonderful country, South Africa.